Alrighty, welcome everybody to Season 4 of the Spike Drop Series Momentum Series here. My name is Edu. I'm joined by Zobi.
Hello, hello.
And, of course, the wonderful Zeke here. Zeke from Crash Out Gaming. How are we feeling? Crash Out Academy, how are we feeling?
I'm feeling good. You know, I escaped from the Midwest, came out to Vegas, and it's still 40 degrees outside. So, you know, I was hoping to wear shorts. Fortunately, wearing a sweater and pants today, but you know what? Get to play some good Valorant.
Yeah, and yesterday teams played through the group stage where 11 teams were eliminated here.
That's right, which leaves us with 16 teams remaining to face off today in the playoffs bracket.
Yeah, very excited here for us. So with the playoffs bracket now coming up today, I'm really excited for what we got here. So let's get on into it.
Yeah, I mean, it does mean, Zeke, if you are sitting here with us at the desk, why aren't you playing anymore?
So unfortunately, it was a little bit of a tough day yesterday. You know, blame tech and blame whatever else you want to, but games didn't go the way we want. I got to play with some of my good friends though. You know, had fun, learned a lot. You know, always a good time. Just love LAN. So unfortunately, I'll have a lot of free time the rest of this weekend, which is good and bad. But yeah.
Time for the Crash Out Academy to crash out, right? Graduation.
Yep. Pretty much, yeah, exactly.
But there were other surprises that you weren't there, right?
Yeah, there were a lot of teams here that, you know, we kind of didn't know a lot about going into this next round, going into even the group stage. A big team there being the lead at Esports. We didn't see a lot of that. But, you know, a few underdogs that we didn't know were underdogs now became the big hounds on the block, just taking out some people in some upsets.
No, for sure. And even a high school team here was here. Their name was Downey High School. They were literally scrimming like the media day. They took a map off of Prosperity Esports, that newly qualified challengers team through Premier, right? It was definitely very impressive. But like we said, had to eliminate a lot of teams. We don't have it's one weekend, right? Everyone's spring break. You got to get back to classes on Monday, get back to work on Monday. So which teams did we have ready for playoffs? Like, which ones did we expect to see in playoffs? Let's start there.
Okay, well, expect for playoffs, we obviously have Vegas Veterans Core. They're on the roster here. YDZ X Berserkers was an absolute beast in the qualifiers. And you look over, you got, you know, I would say some of these teams that I expected to be here that aren't. Wow's Little Puckstar, I kind of wanted to see what they could do because they were here last year. But overall, I also want to see more from, you know, the Funhavers, Tim's team. I think those are my big ones.
For me, I think it was the ones that we were sure to see was like Landor, right? I mean, you got X-Tier 1 players on that team. I think I was hoping for Prosperity, right? Like the new VCL team, they're here like to show that you're going to deserve that spot, not losing to teams that maybe missed out on the qualifiers of the Premier system. Zeke, what other teams like did you expect to see in the playoffs?
Well, you know, obviously I expected Blue Otter to be in the playoffs.
There you go. You're the manager, yeah.
You know, I'm a little biased, but I think they have some of the most talented players outside of Tier 1. You know, Bob. Probably one of the best players, I mean,
love her,
for years now. So, yeah, I mean, obviously I expect to see them. I'm excited to see YDZ X Berserkers. And then I was hoping to see Green Grapes as well.
Yeah.
I saw them, you know, they've been a real dominant team.
Yeah, and I gotta say, looking at this year, Zeke, we see a lot of teams. Some are still to be decided, as well as some teams that you know, you love, you've had to face off to get here. Any teams stand out to you in our round of 16?
So I will say, there's a sleeper match, and then there's a match that we're really looking at. I think Burger Boys, YDZ Infinity is going to be a real good one. But also, F5 Esports has UCI now, UCI Jason subbing, and they're looking pretty good with him playing Duelist on the team. Well, he plays Duelist and Breach, so those are both good games that I'd want to see.
He is a Funhaver veteran, right? He was out in Dallas at the first kind of trial event, that invitational. But the match that I'm looking forward to the most, I think, is going to be Funhavers versus Erenite, right? Funhavers here for redemption. They fell short time and time again to qualify to Tier 2 to the Valorant Challengers League. And Erenite, a team that probably is more of an underdog, not expected to make that deep run into the playoffs bracket, you know, the number 2 seed from the group coming in. But they do have some pretty good players on that squad as well.
So getting into the, you know, Erenite Funhavers team here, you know, fortunately, we do actually get to see them on stage for the first time of our games. So pretty excited to actually see where these teams are coming in from, how they're landing, and really what they got planned for us in day 2 here, Zobi.
Well, with that, we did actually get the opportunity to talk to some of these players right before their matches occur. So we're going to throw to an arrival interview with Funhavers, more specifically with Corrupt the IGL. Alrighty, I am here with Corrupt from Funhavers. First off, how did yesterday go, and how are you feeling about your matchup versus Erenite today?
Yeah, so I mean, yesterday was pretty good. It was like a slow start for us. Definitely first time on land for two of our players, Pyro and Mudkip. So just working through that, and then getting today was really good. And then for what was the second question?
That was it.
All right, okay.
And then my second question for you, and the last question is, you know Erenite a little bit. Who's the biggest threat on that team? No context.
Raccoon, if he gets into flow with his little micro calling, that judge, it's gonna make things hard. But
All right.
get around it.
Well, good luck today.
Thank you. Thank you.
Awesome interview here. You know, Zilby having to sit in front or stand with Corrupt there to kind of hype yourselves up, hype the teammates up, and saying good luck on stage. I gotta wonder, you know, that roster, that team, what exactly are we looking forward to? And I gotta ask Zeke, because Zeke here, you've been watching this for a while, and let's any of these players stand out as someone who can match the aura of these picks? Is that?
Oh
yeah, that was some aura right there, and that's one of my original teammates, Corrupt, and he just, you know, you can't meet an IGL with more aura.
Dang, I don't know. Mudkip, the new addition.
that's true.
Maybe throw in some hands there as well. But talking about Corrupt real quick, they actually have played with like the majority of the Erenite roster before, minus Poseidon. So excited to see that, but also excited for Mudkip. You know, they're the new addition to this squad as a duelist. And what stands out even more is that Flash, who's on Erenite, right? They trialed for the duelist position as well on the Funhavers roster. So we'll get to see maybe that duke it out, be like, I should have had this role. No, I am the proper victor in deserving my spot in this mainstay roster that's trying to make a run for VCL. But why don't we actually take a look, Edu, at the entire roster for Funhavers?
Yeah, let's take a peek at everything that we have for it. But honestly, when we do talk about the roster, you know, you have Tim here. This is the team, not Timothy Funhaver himself, but the Tim that we all know and love as a player here, being able to bring on. You also have Pyro, Blast. You got all these players that have been really, you know, honestly playing together a lot. And in this matchup, you do have some of these players also having a rematch here from the qualifiers.
And I know you said Blast was like the best player in your mind on the side of Funhavers. Why is that?
Well, so I think Blast is one of those, it's what some people call it like an X Factor player where, you know, he can really just take over a game. And that's something like when he takes over the game, they almost always win that map. You know what I mean? So it's just one of those things. I mean, obviously people have different value on a team. Wiley, Corrupt, I think has, you know, insane values in IGL. I mean, you saw when he joined this team how much they accelerated forward. So, you know, it's really hard to place value that way, but to like the general eye, Flash is just insane mechanically. Like, you just can't beat him.
Yeah, but if we are talking about mechanical skill here, a team that's kind of shocked us that has made it this far, that, you know, some of their roster kind of, you know, a little bit of mismatch between the scenes is going to be Erenite here. I actually had the pleasure of talking with them as we got on into here, and as you can see, the vibes are real. They do surround themselves around Raccoon, and love this B-roll shot. Everything. This is a team that I think was a sleeper for me, but now that I've actually gotten to spend some time with them behind the scenes, this is a team that will be giving us a pretty solid show against Funhavers.
And if you're talking about an X Factor and Blast for Funhavers, I think it's blank for Erenite. Because Edu, you were actually the one that pointed it out to me. This is a player that's always hunting for like first bloods on an agent like Clove. And I feel like Clove's also just a sleeper agent. You don't see them in professional play as much, but it's definitely cropped up on maps like Lotus with the double controller, and I'm hoping that we'll see it later today.
Yeah, and you know, talking about behind the scenes, talking about on the scenes, we did get to talk to Erenite. We could talk to Flash being able to. Yeah, I did. So let's go see what Flash had to say about getting here on time and having a good time on stage. So let's get to that one. With Flash from Erenite, you guys just battled out yesterday through that group stage. How are you feeling today in day 2?
Honestly, pretty confident. Pretty happy to be on stage for day 2, so everybody could actually watch what we got to show. Yeah, just ready to play.
Awesome, and ready to play. We're going to be seeing you on the stage. How are you going to be feeling on that big stage? I've been on there, the lights, the heat beating down. Are you ready for it?
Yeah, honestly, the stage is somewhere everybody wants to play. They want to be on mainstream and want to be on camera, so it'll be a fun time.
Perfect. With that being said, I'll see you on stage.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, honestly, pretty solid team here. Definitely has a good head on their shoulders as we're taking a look at some of their stats for us. Zolby, any of these players to you, do you think are we going to be seeing some really solid picks?
Ooh, I mean, okay, Hernando's your IGL. It makes sense that they have a lower ACS. They're starting at the mini map. They're going. Biggest surprise is that sometimes you play that double controller, sometimes you play that initiator, that flash support player, and you're still putting up one of the highest ACSs on your team. That's impressive. What about you?
I think Flash, obviously one of the bigger up-and-coming talents. Every couple of years you have duelist players. We have a lot of duelist players here that were up-and-comers last year, like Son of Car when he made that great run, Flash, Jawa, all these great players that have been, on the cusp or in VCL and floating out, and Flash is definitely one of those players, so I'm excited to watch him play.
Absolutely. And taking a look at, where we're going to be watching them play, we do actually have our map vetoes ready here. Looking at some bans that we got, Ascent being first ban for quite a few teams recently. I think nobody really cares about it anymore, especially that they kind of just ruined B for any Sova player.
Yeah, well, also, I think it's only really been in the map pool for about a week now, and so a lot of teams probably haven't really had the chance to scrim, especially with Premier just ending and now starting back up again. It's kind of like, it's that time off time. Everyone was taking a little break.
Yeah, I know we got teams like Tonight playing Premier from the HyperX Arena. I mean, they have so many PCs that it's equipped to handle this sort of event, and the energy in the arena is going to be electric the entire weekend. But Icebox, Haven, and Fracture. I'm sad we don't have the Lotus. So I was saying, the double controller, the Clove Omen. I was looking forward to it, but we'll see if it comes out on Haven. I could see it.
Honestly, I'm just happy that we're on Icebox. With Ascent being new because of the recent tweaks, Icebox coming back with no fresh paint. It's the same old Icebox, the same refrigerator that you don't have a good time on. Bringing us to map 1 is going to be very interesting. Zeke, I gotta wonder, with Icebox, with the new characters, we got Waylay in right now. What can we expect?
So I'm not sure about Waylay, but I will say Vise is also new to Icebox. Well, sort of, kind of. But I would say that the Vise Deadlock is going to be interesting to see if teams actually use either of those on Icebox a lot. But Waylay is also going to be kind of interesting too, because I feel like that character has some potential on that map. It's a very duel-heavy map, So, and that character loves to fight.
Alrighty, well with that, we've kind of laid out what we think of the teams competing in this first best of 3, the round of 16 single elimination bracket, but who did we think was actually going to win between the 3 of us on the desk, right? We have a top seed, we have a second seed coming head to head in the first round between Funhavers and Erenite. I'll put myself on the hot seat. I said Funhavers.
Okay, obviously I'm a little biased. I used to manage them before the new additions, so obviously I'm gonna say Funhavers is my boys.
Yeah, I mean, Funhavers here, we're here because of Funhavers. That's why we're here for it. Erenite was the sleeper pick, and I did say that I think Funhavers definitely has the stronger team. If I'm gonna predict, who will be winning it versus who I want to win it, I'm gonna have to say Funhavers. But I think Erenite's gonna put up a fight.
No, for sure. Flash is such an interesting player, and also was glazing me earlier in the weekend, so I feel bad voting against them. But I gotta. They're a strong player, but it's not. You talked about X factors. It's a team game at the end of the day, and I do think Funhavers is more well-rounded, has more reps in right now. I mean, they literally went through a whole trial process just to improve their team so that this time they can make a VCL run next stage. It's going to be exciting to see if we're correct or if we already have a production curse.
Absolutely. And of course, as we have talked about what we think is going to go down, it's time for them to go down that flight of stairs, head on over to the stage, and actually give us the best game of the day. The first game of the day. It's like breakfast. It's the best one.
Introducing the team who beat Funhavers a month ago, led by the Beanie Man himself, walking down the stairs now, Erenite Esports. A team with everything to prove and a team with everything to lose. Introducing Funhavers.
Alrighty, here we are with Agent Select, Erenite versus Funhavers. Already we do see everybody but Corrupt being able to lock one in. I am looking at a Sentinel that, you know, I thought we wouldn't see on Icebox, at least at this level, and that's going to be Flash on the Sage. I'm looking over at Zeke right now, and he's a little bit lost. Like, what are you looking for?
So, if I'm seeing correctly, I'm seeing a Sage and Clove on the side of Erenite, and I'm seeing a KO pick on Icebox on the side of Funhavers. Now, if that's true, I'd love to see a KO, but I think that might be a little bit of a...
Oh, yeah, just the text there, yeah.
Yeah, I'm not sure, but...
I gotta say, though, okay, Erenite, Flash, this composition minus the Clove pick, I've seen it before.
Well, yeah.
FlyQuest Red in last Game Changers season, where Dodonut also plays Sage.
Yeah.
That's so funny. But we just let them out as this perfect duelist, and now they're on the Sage, Battle Sage incoming?
Oh, if you're a duelist player, Sage is just one of those picks that you really know how to rock, especially since Sage is inviting someone to 1v1.
Yeah.
You have a player down, res, it's going to be a 1v1. It's practically an ISO ult when you res somebody.
Yeah. I mean, that is a pretty thankless role in Icebox. You're definitely getting sent to your death to get bombed down and attack a lot. So, you know, we got to respect the Sage players when we see them.
That or you go for the Grimwall and just give the spike to somebody
If I see a Grimwall right now, someone's lost the plot and they're playing a little bit too ego. I need to see them play as a team.
Yeah. Round of 16, though. Like, you know, it's time, you know.
I mean,
the stakes aren't high yet, I feel like. I feel like map 1, round of 16, people are still a little loose. You know, they feel like they could get away with a little troll. And then map 2, it'll hit.
Map 2, it's going to hit.
We're here. We need to deliver.
But what this agent composition told me is that unlike like every other map, this one's like standing the test of time against the metas, right? You didn't see the Vice, you didn't see the Waylay. These are old style compositions, right? The double Sentinel, the classic double Initiator, and then sometimes use the double Duelist with the Reyna and the Jet. But we are getting ready already to jump into game, so we're going to bid adieu to Zeke for the time being. Everybody in the arena, get hype. It is the first match of the playoffs, Funhavers versus Erenite.
Alrighty, and with Funhavers starting it off on the attack, they've managed to grab a single orb and walk away. Now, I'm hoping that we're going to be seeing players like Mudkip keep up that space. You also have the KJ lurking on up here. And if Blast, I mean, this is the Sentinel player. You got to keep your crosshair on. This guy knows exactly how to entry on a Sentinel, which is not exactly an easy feat.
No, not at all. It definitely is more of a passive route, right? Just put up your walls, try and get that space. But what isn't passive is the Jet dashing up on Truck, Blast finding the opening kill. That X Factor already starting to hit. But through the wall, the recon will behind, and it's a Raccoon finding early pressure.
The shock dart's going to find Bears. Pyro down from a Poseidon, able to grab his. And oh, there's Tim, but it is going to be the round down with Dolph Z here getting the pick.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, Erenite on the pistol, get the job done. I mean, it was quite literally just felt like pistol jitters, right? You're dashing in, you're not finding the opening kill. And then once the Viper wall comes up, that shows why Viper is a mainstay on this map, and this map only, right? Like, maybe Breeze, but that's not in the pool. Don't even know when it's coming back. Do we even want it to come back? And that's why. Great job holding it off on that. You can't really counter either when you're the one getting revealed. So repercussions maybe of the Sova defense, but we'll see.
Yeah. Right now, though, Erenite starting off with the first pick. You know, these are the quote-unquote underdogs for us, but starting strong with those 3Ks. Actually, was it a 4K from the Sova? I mean, exactly what kind of gameplay you want to be bringing, but with it being a full save for Funhavers, barely any util left. I mean, it's really going to come down to who gets the distance closed up here with these classics. We're trying to see it from the K.
You know, they're just trusting Fully and Rec to kind of anchor this site. Maybe have the stage play like mid and then rotate off to wall to reinforce when they recognize that they're fully committing to that site, trying to break down those barriers. And you mentioned Erenite being out in the forefront. It's their map pick, so that is great. That is even better. You've taken out Blast, the Lurks player. But the real focus is on these players creeping up silently towards A, but they've been spotted too.
Yeah, solid position. Now, Dolph is going into this with only regen, armor, and a sheriff, so when it comes to a pistol versus pistol fight, definitely will be favoring one.
Oh
but Tim taps away. Luckily, not going to get punished for it, but someone is beside him who gets it, and there's finally Hernando to finish off Tim, leaving us with 2 players to try to clutch this up, or at least get a bomb.
And if you are Funhavers, you want like 1 or 2 more kills this round to call it a good eco, because you talked about, okay, we found Blank. Well, Raccoon already recovered that weapon, so Pyro looking to do that damage, finds 1, and I mean, I'd say that's pretty fair eco. You got 2, that means 1 weapon down for the side of Erenite, and hopefully rifles being set your way means that you'll get a round on the board to follow.
Yeah, round on the board. Erenite starting off with a 2-0, but no bomb plan for Funhavers means going into this they might get a little bit on the weaker side utility-wise. And of course, as we now are approaching our rifle versus bonus round, it's time to hear what Funhavers has to come. Let's listen into them.
They smoked. They smoked the turret. They smoked the turret.
It missed.
They fought it.
I'm gonna try to force this.
Getting orb. There's only 2 at B, guys.
It can't be yellow. Yeah,
Just speed up.
Okay,
ready? I'm gonna wall up in 3, 2, 1. Walling up.
Hold my wall.
I'm holding your heaven. I'm holding it.
Broke 1 molly. I'm planning wide as shit.
It's fine.
Fuck dart.
Wall down, wall down, wall down.
They're going heavy.
I have 2 flashes.
They're gonna wall the bomb, guys. They're gonna wall the bomb. We need to break the wall.
Okay. Well, we'll get. So when they wall up, boys, I'm gonna fight the wall.
They smoke yellow. Yeah, I've crossed so. Can someone hold dart?
Top side.
Someone hold dart. Someone hold dart.
I'm flashing above you, Muddy.
I've crossed.
Pop.
They cross.
Above you, 3, 2, 1.
Oh, Muddy!
Chill. Everyone relax. I have molly for next.
Yeah, top side.
I have molly for next. You should pop yours early, bud. Okay, get ready for the break wall.
Wide yellow on you. White yellow. So yellow.
I have 80.
2 yellow, 2.
Yeah, hold yellow.
Nice.
One more. Viper.
I'm out.
Well down.
1 yellow.
Spam. Can you get him off blast?
No. They want us to die.
I'm dead. I'm dead.
Okay, nice.
Good.
Good.
Great fucking
Let's go.
Good job. They have wall? Or they? Oh, I think they are.
And wow, that last-minute damage, players expired on the spike, robbing them of a flawless, but that's what you wanted to see, getting the ball rolling with that rifle round out of Funhavers. They also abandoned the efforts. First 2 rounds, A's not going your way, try the B site, see what works there. So we've seen 2 things that work. B site, straight exit with better weapons, and mid lurks actually. Blast gets shut down. We saw Tim follow it up and catch that surprise element on the eco. These might be the starting of the inner workings of what's going to work late game on the attack after Funhavers at you.
Absolutely. You know, I'm looking at Funhavers definitely playing time really well in that last round. But you look over at Blank, who manages to grab an orb. That's an ultimate already on the board here in round 4 for a Clove. And you look over at most of the Cloves in this tournament right now, they're going for first bloods. They're going for those peaks, and they want to just use that extra life that it gives you.
No, for sure. And with a composition like this, where I believe you also, or where you don't have a duelist, right? Your club has to act as that. And we talked about how there's double duelist compositions on this map as well. So it is an approach on the Ice Splash to go for that early advantage here, which it seems like they're trying to do here, right? Flash trying to generate their own choke point.
over the top of the double down here for Mudkip, but Blank Game highlighted this ultimate being online. He can still make space for his team to start to rotate, but that is a big space taker with the Viper Pit online, and that's going to be a huge aggression play. Takes out Corrupt, being able to back it up, and now executed when he baits Pyro to swing into Ronaldo. Another clean pickup here. Bomb finally planted in the 30-second mark,
Spike
but
planted.
in a 2v2, it's about can Tim survive?
I mean, not if Tim can survive. It's Blast. Can you protect Tim? The bodyguard drops down. And you can see them trying to hunt down Tim. And again, it's your player. Poseidon has infiltrated the back line. Tim solo HP, but it's the decay that will get the job done. Regen shield generating. Pit does its job. Talked about playing time. I think a Viper's Pit does that job.
Yeah, definitely so. As we are going to be getting into our next round here, we're tied 2-2. Honestly, Funhavers here being able to bring it back after they got some bigger weapons. They got those rifles ready, and it's maybe time for Erenite to find an answer to it, because as we do know, they used some ultimates there. They did invest in the Clove for that info against the Viper Pit, but early in this game, lots of orbs are getting picked up. They need to keep up that energy.
Get out of my way!
You had a Viper Pit that early. It had to be funneled into Tim there, right? And it's hard to counter. But speaking of results you wanted to see, it's going to be the prime duelist, actually, for Funhavers with the Bladestorm out. I think they're trying to sell a fake over towards this A side with the KO init utility, with the jet pressure. And you saw the players also trying to fight B main simultaneously, walk up, contact up, but all of that utility, the snake bite, the Clove, denied it here. So this feels like a very nice read. Blank already starting to flank. We'll see at the turret, detects it, and they actually fall off. They don't follow through.
Yeah, take your time here. You know that you have the sight. You still have your knives. Too much aggression has been punished here by Funhavers, or sorry, by Erenite. And
Spike
if
planted.
we can see Mudkip just finding that value, remember, he's got to prove himself. This is the new player on the block here for him, and we're not quite seeing that value until one knife will fly.
And it's just a stalemate right now. You're waiting for that secondary layer of info and utility to come through. He did reflank it through me. This is going to be such a disruption.
The knives, they don't find their mark, but Corrupt sure does, getting a second kill before executed there. But a third one comes just at the cusp of his death, leaving us now in that flank you talked about, Zobi, and Tim is going to be able to get 3 players down by Blank Aims, who sticks at half. But pros do fake, and that's going to be read like a book. Great read from Funhavers, and that is now an advantage in score to our FH team.
Yeah, I was expecting the dive like right after the Sova drone got broken, and then it was like 2 seconds after that Edu. And I think that if they had gone in immediately, and I'm still like kind of wary of what like made them wait, maybe just finishing communicating the plan, that's why Tim was able to make it in time. If not Blank, if pros don't fake, then they could have stuck it all the way, I think, in that situation. But you're also worried, right? No sound comms. Hold your cool if you're Tim. You're used to those kind of situations. I mean, we've already seen Alert. You're 9-3 for crying out loud. The economy's got to be shot for Erenite here a little bit.
Yeah, they're not going to be going into this round with much. We've seen a lot of bomb plants for Funhaver, however. They are loaded right now, and they can keep that momentum up, but it is going to be tough if they try to push into B against a Viper one way. But the thing about Viper on Icebox, especially as a solo smoke, you can actually not the solo smoke. They can buy as much time as they want.
And what I love about this combination is your Killjoy is never like a sight anchor in this style of defense with the Viper coordination. They more support your Viper from offsite while they hold and are the master of mid. Now look at the changes though that Erenite's made. Your Sova and your Sage are committed here while Blank is solo holding A. You're not getting that same pressure, that same info initiator utility from Funhavers over towards A, so you're leaning already to respond.
Tim setting themselves up, but the Hunter's Fury immediately popped here and will take out Corrupt, but he pops an ultimate to keep himself alive and being allowed to get picked up. A good play from him, but it's the executions from Poseidon being able to wash away the Viper, and now no more smokes here for Funhavers to try to take this site. Do they have enough time to rotate, or are they just going to commit with their aim?
I mean, I think what they're going to do is rely on Blast and keep it off of that, right? The Owl Drone, I think, going towards Kitchen makes it seem like nobody's there. You're trying to clear out that angle. In reality, though, they're about to strike.
Oh, and here we go. The Fangs are out for Bloss. Dropping in, gets 1, gets 2. The trigger discipline is perfect. That's going to be 3, but executed by a judge. And with 13 seconds, a bomb finally gets planted here. 1v2 for Dolph. And they might be able to find it if they could just get one angle. And there's the top shot from Mudkip, clean as ever. A good attempt there from Raccoon.
Oh, wow, wow, wow. And I was hyping them up. I'm like, okay, wait, they have this really well handled. 2 allocated to mid control, 3 to the site. And they were even winning the fights on site, so I don't understand why the players from mid gave up that control and went to help the site players when they didn't need the help. What happens there is you give them mid control, Blast gets in such a prime position, frags out of their mind. They almost got the 4th. It was like ring around the rosy up in that business. And, oh, Mudkip toying with the operator. I mean, attack off. I mean, yeah, they don't have a duelist, but look at this change. Eco strap possibly from Erenite. 3 players pushing aggressively through A.
Yeah. Ooh, let's see it. Lots of info found, but a lot of bullets find in the head of Blank Aim, but they have a Sage, so it will be able to bounce back with a decent amount of healing. Of course, though, they've already used the wall, and it's still 1:20 left, but the swing dry. It's going to be Corrupt, who picking up that op dropped by Mudkip for
There we
him,
go, yeah.
being able to get a first blood, and now setting themselves up for a potential re-hit.
Get you an IGL that can do both call and op. And, I mean, first off, Blank having ult again is insane. Second, they don't need it. They're alive. They might have the overheal. It's a great first blood, or a refrag.
Yeah, great answer to the initial pick here. And now you still have another lurking player, but it's going to be Tim. So the only smokes available are actually set up on B here. So if we want to see where this team's going to go, they have to go a little bit high and dry. They're not going to be able to do too much, and they're running out of time, Zoe.
And I think they also don't want to give up this A main space, because then likely players can push through, recover that weapon, have a tool for a retake on the B side. Also, they haven't whittled away any of that kill chain utility. So the best bet, yeah, is to commit here. Pyro, they actually find the timing yet again. Blank's not even going to realize it.
Wow, and Lost able to get Blank. Will force out an ultimate. Tim's still on the lurk as the bomb gets planted. Can find Poseidon, but it's actually going to be Raccoon who grabs Pyro. Blank living and back on the hot spot. It's going to be Lost to lock it in with a wonderful lockdown. And come on, Blank, you can't be doing some crazy stuff on those ropes. And that's going to be a pick and no more lockdown. Line up Larry time. Let's see it from Timmy.
But they were nerfed, these snake bites. I've seen players stick, and also when your lineup misses, you gotta take things into your own hand. And unfortunately, they cannot. Tim, you clutched one for one. It's gonna be Erenite starting to close that gap now. 1 round of separating these 2 teams, and I wanna say that was like a pseudo eco round. I don't think it was thrifty by name, but it was by nature.
Yeah, absolutely. Erenite here, very solid thanks to Blank early play style to really just trade off where Blast got the op, but that was also a big investment. You know, we talked a lot about Funhavers having quite the cash ready for this. They might not be so lucky this round. I mean, I think that they're gonna try to build up some ultimates to maybe rely on those, but it's all about the post plant and cutting distance, so B might be the option.
I mean, I don't think they've necessarily, like, I think they got stopped and then Blast opened up the round. But now they've gotten stopped again. I talked about how Blank was going to be the player that looks for that first blood advantage. They found it off a rip, trying to catch, I think it was Corrupt with a lineup out probably here. And they're starting to adjust, and Erenite's looking good as a result.
Yeah, let's see it. Hernando manages to spot out a Sova. And now, counter Sova Owl might be able to get him enough info. They know that there should be about 2 to 3 here at the minimum, but will they be able to re-hit? They now have the Viper smoke up. Here comes the execution, but they're still, look at this, they're still waiting for a lurker over here for Erenite. They're looking for someone to find themselves in kitchen.
And I like that they kept the killjoy here, you know? It's like, fool me once, shame me, fool me twice. And here we go, we'll see. The fool doesn't seem to be the case. The IGL find another kill here through their own toxic screen. They're starting to follow suit as well.
Yeah, big trades here from Tim, though. That's a triple kill. And will we be able to see them find either a 4K, an ace, or a nice, great grave site? Let's see it. And, oh, a res. Wait, we could see 7 kills here for Timmy. He just managed to get it, but the bomb now down. Planted and executed by Flash. That's why you put a duelist here on a Sage.
17 HP for Blast 2 in this 1v2.
Winnable.
1v3, I think.
Timing. Oh, but the swing snowman execution, and Hernando will take it. And unfortunately, Erenite's tied this game.
Yeah, and again, I think it was Nico Death around 16, not too much pressure just yet. I'm wondering then when are we going to see our first time out here, right? It's been nice developments, right? Strike back when you got your weapons in hand for Funhavers, now Erenite starting to make the adjustments as well to bounce back. And finally, there was that 4-win streak, right? So the win bonus was flowing for Funhavers. They got another rifle round kind of buffer, but now you've lost that. So what do? Equip your duelists with the best weapon you can, and I'm expecting the rest to have weaker weapons. You know, maybe some stingers, maybe some sheriffs, which is why I was maybe hoping for like 3 or 4 players mid, and it feels like they're toying with the idea.
Honestly, I'm kind of getting used to this overlay. We're in Vegas, so we can't reveal our hand yet. That's what we're doing right now. So we know the ace on this team. Or really, it's the Joker.
Blackjack, you know what the first card.
You know what the first card is, but the first player is Tim to get his, and what a shot. Able to just lock it down beside it with the trades. Hernando keeping it real, but it's going to be that Joker on the field, or sorry, the Jack on the field. There's no Jokers.
I mean, Jokers are wild cards in some games, and this round is definitely a wild card. I was going to say, still the possibility of a thrifty, but now when you thought you had the advantage, some small mistakes add up. You get caught out in the open, and it's all down to Blast. They did recover the weapon, the Guardian left in the wheels by Mudkip to their team. The drone. No.
2 bullets. Has to be able to find their mark, and no, it's a judge. Of course, that's the second time we've seen Raccoon farming for some content. Amazing judge gameplay here, and honestly, it's what I like being able to watch when you're taking a look at this team.
Wait, in the Arrival interview, Corrupt literally said the opponent they fear most is Raccoon because of their calling and because of their judge. So that definitely showing why, exhibiting it here early on a Sova too. They're like, I don't need open wall, I got the judge. But that means Erenite, they have reclaimed the lead here. I think we're shaping up to have a really close first half on Erenite's map pick here. But again, Funhavers, I'm waiting for that timeout. I'm waiting for them to, you know, talk things through. Or you can't until the ults are gone. Hernando pops that blast. They finally won the duel against Blank.
Finally. But now we have an ultimate. A Hunter's Fury online. Is it going to hit its mark? Good timing. Aimed high to try to take off that player from screens, but not exactly going to hit anybody. And that is a Hunter's Fury, no longer available in the post plant, and no information or damage gained from it.
And the pivot, like, you know, the Viper's pit's there now. Nothing was revealed. No, Viper was pinged to half HP, so you felt comfortable enough to challenge the Queen in their domain. And at this point, you're also talked about that single smokes to the Viper. They have that wall, that toxic screen up over towards the B site. Look at this. They're trying to get proactive against the Blast Lurk this time. A double walk down mid, which is where Blast found the opening kill up against Blank. Can they retaliate?
Yeah, that turret spot, absolutely beautiful to make sure that they can read for this. But as we are going to be seeing the KJ still trying to fight mid, it's the other side of sights getting the bomb planted. Blast giving up mid, not allowing them to find any value, just wasting time and giving up a free B. It's up to a retake against a Viper pit.
This is the second Viper's pit too for Tim because they've been in clutch, because they've been in flank positions. But a lot of utility here for Raccoon to re-clear this, right? You have the late drone, you're going to have recomboed up right afterwards. You also have the Hunter's Fury, so if you're paying a player, you might be able to pop it. But look at this lockdown.
Lockdown, just going to kick them out here, but I think Fernando might just... Oh, what a shot there. Another one for Mudkip. Taking out 2, might have to find more, but that was just aggro trying to stop a potential bomb planter or diffuser, and that is a life diffuse in the round, coming to a 1v1, but
no time.
No time.
Blast fleeing. I was about to say when Blast was going back B main, you're like, they gave it to mid control. I'm like, yeah, that's fair. For some reason, I had this like intrusive thought that's like, they're just gonna go back later, aren't they? And they did. They re-wrap mid Soleil and get literally the cherry on top for the round. So tied here yet again, 5-5. Bladestorm online, probably weapons for the rest of the squad. It was a little messy, right, because of the heroics from Hernando, but ultimately, who's gonna break the mold first, Edu?
I mean, right now, if we want to break the mold, we got to know what the mold looks like. And it looks like the mold is locking these players down at 8 kills for Erenite. Everyone except for Blank is even on the KD department. But let's see if they're going to be able to find more value. And it's going to be tough with knives out in this eco.
Ooh, yeah, a deep mid-smoke makes you think Blank was playing there, scaling up, but in reality, they were front, center, B main. And finally, they found a way to punish the Lurk player, but look at Mudkip avenging their teammate.
Avenging with style. That is the kind of knife play we want to look at here, as More information's gathered, but they have no idea. Corrupt already inched up. They don't have anybody to slow him down. And where is Blank looking? Corrupt already so pushed up. He's got all the space for their team mid, but he actually gives it back up and says, hey, we're re-hitting B.
I mean, you got the null command popped from Corrupt, right? You already know where the position was, so might as well have a beacon into the sky, rob them of that ever so important Silva utility on the retakes. Now, look at this. Raccoon felt forced to take an initial lead, and if they were alone, untradeable here. And if you're gonna live like that, Hernando, it means that Mudkip and Funhavers are probably gonna be the first to beat you 2-6. Flash toying with the idea of a heroic moment or a save. They're one-off res here, which is why I think they want to either die or find a kill.
Die, find a kill, and that's a kill.
There it is.
That might be one, but are they still going to have to worry about a lurking KJ who's always there? Wait.
Oh my gosh!
Free mid.
I mean, like, there's two ways to look at this. It's like, I see a lurking controller and essentially I raise you and info initiated your IGL, or they're playing Blackout Bingo and want every player to get a successful lurk off. I mean, at this point, you got 3 out of 5. It's still the first half. We'll see if they continue with these antics. You talked about what the mold is. It is having a successful lurk player in the round for the side of Funhavers. For Erenite, it's winning that first blood exchange, right? Every round that they've won successfully really advantageously is when Blank finds the first blood. I'm not gonna lie to you. Yeah. And now when things like this are happening and you can't track that fight, can't have that fair duel, it falls apart. Like, they're letting a lot slip through the cracks.
Yeah, I mean, we can, honestly, the way that these two teams are playing, we can simplify it. It's if we get first blood or not. And it's Blank to be the person. He either is the first blood or he's getting the first blood. And Blast here executing him twice now. Another ultimate being used for information here. But what is that info actually good for? Pyro just shoots him in the face.
This is a judge. It's a judge.
It always is.
This is a Raccoon moment in the making. Will it deliver? Oh, no. Mudkip in this position always going truck. It feels like that's their protocol, and it is working.
Yeah, solid play there around Pipes just being executed. That's going to be more shots here from Mudkip. And look at this dash right over the corner to take out the last player. We did see quite a bit of ultimates on that team again. We had the KJ, we had the Clove, but Funhavers winning out the half.
Yeah, I mean, 7-5, not what you want to look at if you are Erenite here, especially when your composition was 2 Sentinels, a Pseudo-Sentinel on the defense. Flash, I mean, they were getting their kills, right? But now they're your battle stage that has to enter and put up a wall, right? Like, that's the idea. Like, you don't have that mobility, that dive ability, but what you should do is you find the opening kill, you run up, you wall, you took the space, you did your job as a quotation mark duelist, right? Yeah. And I'm worried that just Funhavers is warming up. How are they going to enable that kind of play style on these side XX?
I mean, we could talk about the comp as well. You know, you need a Sage to entry. You have nothing to give them that boost. There's no flashes on this team.
You're not wrong.
Nothing is going to allow them to turn these corners without being completely dry.
Drone, maybe? I don't know. And, I mean, it's actually Funhavers that are looking very proactive, right? You've already destroyed the Lurk Killjoy turret. You already have a lot of players pushed down mid. And now that you've defaulted and got that goal accomplished, they've read this squad over towards the A side. The other option, you don't entry. You lurk, you get a site for free, you get your wall up, and you're good to go, which is what Flash looks like they're doing over towards the B side.
Yeah, gone is the day of just every single round rushing A on Icebox. But what a little bit of a pick, trying to get it here for Flash. And, you know, we needed that entry. As you said, it's slow and steady wins the race. But right now, Funhavers is definitely sitting at the finish line for this round.
And that's not what you want to see at a 7-5 half, right? You win the pistol, you win the follow-up, suddenly you're right back in it, you're tied. But it's, I mean, we're spinning it too early, right? Like, yes, there's 45 seconds left, but this is still a 5-on-5.
Might be able to connect a little bit here as Pyro getting a little... Ooh, what a pickup. Again, it's always blank games, either the first blood getter or giver, as Flash is going to be able to do what we've needed them and actually open for this team. And that's Raccoon proving that the Classic's the best gun. Flash is up, and there is Mudkip getting one. Might be able to find a second, but instead needs to wait for their teammate, who Tim grabs it 2v2.
And this coordination between Mudkip and their team, the newest addition, is talking about integration right now. The timing, the connection is beautiful, and even the singular heroics when they are the last one to rely on.
There we go. Now just, if we're talking about heroics, Mudkip wants this for Funhavers. Erenite needs this for Hernando. Can we see it? Oh, knows that bomb's planted. We do have a few little smokes left, but sitting up so no snake bite can hurt him. Smart play, but the smoke's faded. And now it's Taft. He has to get aggressive here. One up on Pipes. Might be able to get it, but...
Oh, now you know.
No worries out. Here the bunny hop. Timer ticking down. You have to commit to it.
It's halved. How much time do you have? Oh, and they regret it. They're like, I was so close. The frustration sets in, and we talked about how that pistol was pivotal for a comeback. And I mean, you can see the celebrations, the smiles finally dawning on the Erenite faces. They're like, we're the master pistols. We got 2 for 2 on our map pick. Now let's drive it home and get that lead back.
Yeah, and with the lead ready here, we have one more round here to see, will Erenite be able to turn around early, or will Funhaver be able to thrifty this up? That's the real question. There's a good chance.
I mean, if you're buying sheriffs, you know it's in the cards here for sure. And we'll get to see if they follow through on it with, again, these first blood antics, these early expeditions. And fortunately, the approach seems to be different from Erenite. They're not necessarily leaving a mid player super early, so not going to have a victim either.
Yeah, but looking at Mudkip trying to hold mid, already using up the dash, no util here, and oh my, that is going to be... I'm hoping that's just... No, that's a straight-up Phantom. We are bringing out the big guns here to lock in this round.
I like this. You talked about taking the lead back, not just tying things up. This is what you need, a really strong bonus conversion in the 3rd round. And I also was wary about the slow pacing start, but it's also smart. You expect a death ball approach, kind of like they did on their eco of running it down A with 4 to 5 people. So they were waiting for that, and then they're going to pivot off of it. My concern is that if you have enough utility on the side of Funhavers and you util up at the last possible second, you can deny a spike plant and get robbed of a round you should have won.
Absolutely, and a site slowly getting rotated here for Erenite. If they can just manage to find the Sova, that really does do a damper on it, but none of Funhavers have any real utility left except for Tim. So if Tim gets picked, no real retake smoke, and all his util's on B anyway, so they gotta go in here and just manage to hold these corners.
Well, through the decay, and I mean, eco weapons, when you are decayed, can get the job done. But Blank, we talked about it, they don't have a duelist, they needed entry and flash. Also with that Phantom delivers, it's all down to Tim. And what started, as I said, could be catastrophic in the last few seconds. They win their fights. They did lose a few though, so not clean, not flawless. I talked about that 3rd round conversion, gonna be super important here. But they kept the big guns. So what do you think is the strat now so they can convert it?
I think right now it might just be coming down to, first off, Erenite winning out the pistol, knows that someone's going to be very aggressive here, knows that someone might want to pick out some big guns to get some of these very tight angles and have advantage over range. And that's what the op's for. So let's hear what Erenite can do against that op.
Okay. Oh my god, I just fucked my orb.
Oh, I fucked that up.
Oh, fuck that?
I can't pick that. Nice.
Down.
Okay, orb down, orb down.
Viper B.
Turret's unknown.
Turret's on boiler.
Yeah. Bet. I'm not leaving. Yo,
You want me to wall this and we go?
solo with bomb.
Yeah, low key. Yeah,
Viper
Viper
yellow.
is solo with bomb. Poseidon, can you go double up with them?
Yeah, pop
Poseidon,
up.
Double up. Wall this. Okay.
Wait.
Yeah, I'm waiting.
Alright, you ready?
Ready? Walling it.
Yep.
I'm walking that B. Viper's yellow. Is he?
You have drones.
I'm all in. He's on site. He's on site.
Alright, good flank, guys. Good flank. Is yellow clear? Is yellow clear?
Hey, 105 link. Nice. One more site. Viper. Top site. Yeah, he's crouched. 50-50. Wow. Nice.
Wait, behind me.
Backside. Drop lower, left.
Yeah.
Op has no armor.
Nice
try. Nah, high key, I hit that shot, bruh.
Okay, they are lost in mid. They're just giving all of what was their setup there? Top.
Alrighty, and honestly, Erenite there, very clean with their comms. You know, a lot of good energy that we're seeing from this team. You look over at Funhavers and they're not having fun.
But also, I think there was like halfway through that listen, I think I heard like, "Are you sure?" And I feel like that's something that I've learned. You've learned probably as a collegiate player. You have to just trust your teammates' calls. And if the info was wrong, then that hesitation can add up. And I think especially when you're that fast-paced going through mid, that's when it started to fall apart. Was then Poseidon was left to the 1vx situation. So now Funhavers denied that lead getting taken. Keep the operator online. It's lost its novelty factor, but you know it's in play, which is why they again leaning towards the B site. Oh.
An easy angle here, but Tim does have rifles now. Remember, this is the time, but Mudkip, another op already ready for him in Funhaver. Let's see if we can just open it up with the pick, but we look over at Erenite. They have a wall ready. They're going to go for the plant. Blasto right on through, getting one. And there goes Corrupt, but there goes Tim. No more smokes here, but luckily the wall does its job. The bomb gets planted.
Spike planted.
I mean, Blake, you don't have to swing here. They don't have line of sight. Your recon bolts on nothing. Yeah, get the ruse up and just hunker down. Utilize those defenses that your composition sets up for a post plant. Here we go.
Okay, there we go. Blank getting one, and Mudkip keeping it real. But Blast, this is what we want to be looking at from the Guardian. A res, unfortunately, left hanging there, and no trades come through as another one, but it's Flash to clutch this up. And oh, the movement from Mudkip, so surreal to take out the Sage.
We caught the tail end of that, and at some point as well, they swapped weapons, right? Like, the Guardian gets it done. We talked about how, okay, it was a kind of a, they lost a few players on their buy round to the bonus. Those are the repercussions. It wasn't full full weapons, full Vandals, Phantoms, the op. And that was Mudkip redemption from the clutch that they lost. That's what I think that round is to me, right? They got the fancy movement. The vibes are going to be up. That was good.
Yeah, absolutely. So very clean from this team. And I will be looking forward to maybe some of the answers that Erenite might have, as they started off relatively strong in this half. They were able to get those 2 rounds. I mean, they're pistol demons. They know what to do. But Funhaver here, still with that op, now even with Blade Storm available, it's going to really come down to util usage to punch through. Again, no flashes on attack. They have to just get it in the aim department.
Did you notice the differences between how Tim's playing and how Hernando's playing on the defensive half? Tim always forward, applying pressure, making it seem like they're pushing forward and being mean, even if they aren't. Versus Hernando was always playing back, like towards Snowman, waiting for that initial contact, giving up that space here. And I think that's showing because number 1, Hernando's also IGLing. Number 2, I'm gonna say that's part of the confidence as well, going up against a higher seed. You just feel ready to take those engagements. But what's interesting here is they fall back, and now they still have a stack on the B site. But look at this weakness Erenite has identified. The 4 players all huddled together in tube. They've made it past the kitchen window.
With a pick at that, and now with these weapons, they're ready to go right into a crosshair here. Everyone's lined up, a Pyro only having Stinger. Doesn't find the value, but an ultimate early to try to get the bomb plant. One jump shot, and you can kill him, and yes, that's what we're talking about, Mudkip. A big pickup, another bomb plant, and nice ultimate, getting immediately shut back down. 2 players remaining, 3 to try to retake into the Viper pit, but I see that lurk coming up.
One enemy remaining.
The lurk just disrupts the retake altogether, right? You're Hernando, you're now, I mean, at least it's your Viper's pit player, but the Shorty finds 2. Like, they played that to a T, even though they did, I think, give up that mid space when we saw the singular player fall through window. Like, that went according to plan until the actual spike play, right? They got the pit up, they got the space. Pyros sacrificed their life to keep the Viper alive. They're like, get down, Mr. President! And, I mean, it works to a degree, and then the post plant, they were staggered. They were staggered.
Yeah, it really did come down to, honestly, we talked a lot about Blank being that guy that keeps this team up. We saw Flash needing to step into it because I think Blank is actually stepping away from that role. And, you know, how many times have we seen Blank getting a pick or being picked and using that ultimate and really getting nothing out of it afterwards? And I know that sounds harsh, but 23 deaths, 21 kills. I mean, we've seen his stat line where he gets 12, 13 first bloods, and we're just not getting that Blank today.
Yeah, and I think that also helps when you have somebody to relinquish that pressure, like a duelist like Flash. Because then you feel like, okay, even if I make that risk and I fall, it's okay. But in this situation where you don't have a duelist on the attack for Icebox, a map that does have, like you said, an old history of attack A side simulator, it becomes difficult. So let's see what happens when they do just go for a simplified AX deck.
Yeah, against Pyro. And Pyro has 2 away from getting the Hunter's Fury, has the util trying to buy some time, dodging the shocks and trigger discipline. Free pick onto Blank, might be able to find another one. High, low, it's time to show up and get yours. It's Hernando to get it down. Pyro not able to find their aim, but with the bomb still not planted, still not allowed thanks to the ult from Corrupt. It's going to be a pick and spike on the ground. It's going to be more for Mudkip, and oh, look at that attempt. Oh, Raccoon, we saw the vision, but it's Poseidon on the lurk who finishes off that lockdown, but it's only up to Poseidon.
And at this point, again, you mentioned it, spike not planted, under the control now of Funhavers. You have a reflank of the flanker in Tim, starting to brew over towards mid. They decide not to. They decide to group up with their team. This does give the opportunity to 1v1s over to Poseidon.
30 seconds.
Yeah, a lot of people taking it one step at a time. They're trying to bait for him to push, and that's why Mudkip pulled in the angle beautifully. A great trust fall happened there with Corrupt and Mudkip to be able to get that pick. But look at the score line here. We're one away from a match point advantage.
Yeah, I mean, if this is a trial, right, after the Funhaver qualifier number 4 for the Momentum series, after the trials that Funhavers did for Super Cool Mudkip, being 24-11 in the first round of playoffs on a LAN environment shows the synergy that's starting to build with this team. But like you mentioned, 1 off from map point. That buy a little, again, scattered. They invested a lot of, you know, pressure. We got to see kind of how the workings, again, of a blank entry looked like. It's just some corners didn't go clear. Some coordination fell a little short. And now look at the change Funhavers made. They're the ones getting aggressive in the face of these players.
Okay, Corrupt will be able to walk away from that. A little bit of a scuffed pick, but it does do what it needs to. Blank finally getting another trade on here onto Pyro. No Sentinel, but that just means post-plant a little weaker, but I don't like this. Will we find it to do some damage? And beautiful dodge here. And that is another ult gone, but they do use it to scare people away. Bomb planted in high. This post-plant's going to definitely favor Erenite if they just get maybe one more pick.
What's been interesting is Mudkip with the operator, usually you look at it and you're like, this isn't a tool for a retake, but they've been getting consistent kills with it because of the over-peaking in these post-plant situations. So I'm liking this. Look who's learned their lesson. They're falling off. They're playing the advantage here, but look at the Viper's pit. You can't play off-site with this.
You don't need to if you're Raccoon, though. He's got a judge. And
He's not decayed? What? What?
He's looking for the Viper. He needs to hold his crosshair for anything else, and he does find one, but yeah, I saw the vision. He's trying to find the Viper, shut that down. Luckily, it's going to be Hernando to do it, and saving the op is the call here. What a round. Raccoon.
Wait, the Viper's looking.
Oh!
Last second, escaping death clutches, and all right, so finally, a round goes your way. Took the Viper's pit. Retake and the heroics, I'll call it, of Raccoon with that judge. Aside from that, I mean, it's more like a breathing room, right?
Yeah, it's a little bit of breathing room for us here. These teams locking it in, ready to show us what is doable. I am very hopeful that we're going to be finding maybe, just maybe, a lock-in here for a knife like that to find 3, but Funhavers, they still need to get that match point advantage. Erenite could make a comeback if they just keep playing their aim, and there's a beautiful lockdown and a blank for a pick.
Yeah, to me right now, it feels like Funhavers is a little eager beaver. I feel like they're really strong in the retakes when they have numbers. They don't need to play like how Erenite was playing on the defense, right? Looking for that first blood. They have a really strong retake comp. They have the ults to do it as well. Again, the silver lining is that operator and the double-edged sword, but when you have a distraction like this, the job becomes a lot easier.
A lot easier, and now a knife is out. We can't retake with an op every single round. We gotta bring out these blades, and Pyro's aim, being able to get 2 picks like that, leaves us now with only 2 players remaining, but the bomb is setting up. Pyro having to tap it, but the lineups, the smokes, they're too strong, and so is Poseidon, who gets his. Hernando gets theirs, and that is a nice, clean comeback.
I talked about how a retake was the go-to for Funhavers, how streamlined it was and was looking, but that's the strength of this composition, right? You have the delay of the stage wall, you have the delay of the swarm grenades, of the snake bite, and all of that compounded into playing down at the timer. And, I mean, you gotta watch where you're stepping, and clearly the players on Funhaver could not.
Yeah, I mean, Funhaver right now, I think they got really tested here by getting so close to the match point advantage, but not quite there yet, where I think their confidence is slowly being taken away, and whenever that happens, we've seen it happen to the other Funhaver. We've seen it happen to Large and In Charge yesterday, where they had a momentum, and they lose it slowly and slowly until they lose the entire set.
And here we go. What did Nico? Like, it's one person, though. Why isn't it more?
I think it's just because if you can get yours as Corrupt, you know, KO is probably the best value you're going to be able to get that trade for. Obviously, retake's not great, but you already don't have to worry about flashes, so you don't have to worry about too many objects getting shut down. But here's Blast. Oh! getting taken out here by blank aims. And, uh-oh, it's Raccoon time with a judge. I've said that a lot today. I think we're going to keep seeing it.
Oh, well, you can see the future there, Edge. You're already finding the first, but get the timing from Mudkip here. Not again.
Yeah, not quite enough, but oh. Hello. Oh, but he doesn't find more. Looking for another one. Unfortunate there for Flash, but at the end of the day, it is up to Tim in a 1v4. And Tim, you have the option of saving, or you swing and kill everybody. And that's going to be a good start to that plan. 2 now down with, unfortunately, not a lot of HP to keep it going. And he swings, and he's executed.
Oh, the tracking there was, like, insane. Like, it was clean from Mudkip, even if you only get your 1 there. And even, like, letting something like that slip through the cracks makes you doubt yourself and your confidence a little bit, which is what you need while fending Funhavers off from a map point on your pick, which they've done successfully so far. What are we, 2 rounds now away from tying up? 1, maybe, if my math is not mathing. And at this point, yeah, 1, there we go.
1 from tying it, both teams double digits.
Exactly.
And, you know, Funhavers, they've lost 3 in a row. For Erenite to want to bring this back. And right now, I don't know exactly what kind of game plan comes in besides let's dump some ultimates and let's try to shoot more people. I mean, Tim has been fragging, but good movement. Oh, good movement. Walks right on past it, and that one finally hits. They know where he is, but is 80 damage of a Hunter's Fury enough to slow Tim down?
Oh, I mean, it might slow them down enough for the full rotation of the team. Minus Pyro, who gets the timing through A to basically lock in Funhavers' opportunity at a map point on their opponent's map pick.
And here comes the attackers now, stuck with bombs, stuck in mid, needing to go on up, and that's exactly what Blast wants. He's just waiting. He has a bot that's going to greet you at the doorway. Will you be able to get yours?
Oh, I mean, a turret's got your back. You're good to go.
Why swing it again? Pyro being able to take out Blank, and now Hernando is all alone with the bullet in their back and all of the BM to shoot the bodies. Match point advantage is on the board.
Blast is every Sentinel's player's dream right now. Like, they always double back with pristine timing, whether it's in a post-plant scenario in the first half like we just saw, or even reclearing off of their own utility so the opposing Viper's back is turned in kitchen tube. Like,
I mean, the fact that he knew that someone was there aiming at his bot and then just took a deep breath and said, I got Pyro right behind him.
Bro is 3 kills away from matching Mudkip right now. Like, that is crazy because of the impact we've seen on the entries from Mudkip the first half.
Well, look who else is matching. 27 to 27.
Stepping it up.
Coming up from blank aims. Died more times than there are rounds right now.
That's what happens when you're an Immortal Clove player, for sure. And when you have a Sage, possibly for
Yeah, they have so many reses coming out that blank aims is just like, I don't need KD, I need to win this game. And to do that, we've got to get tied to overtime.
2 more rounds to go, but look at the disruption coming through, and that's your star player eliminated, but coming back to life. Is anyone close enough to get the refrag on to survive? It doesn't matter, executed again!
And, oh my god, Mudkip, just multi-kill Mudkip coming out clean, and that's going to be another one for him, and that's the game! Map number 1 ending for Funhavers here. What a stat line. I mean, I don't think I've ever seen a player get taken out 30 times in a game.
Wow, that's the, is that 30? Wouldn't that be 29? They were 27 and 27?
Yeah, that's 29.
We're both bad at math. Figures, we're casters. But aside from that, ooh, Funhavers sealing away Erenite's map pick. Got Haven up next, but let's first bring back our amazing analyst here. Zeke, what'd you think of Icebox?
Obviously, Mudkip showed out. That's what we want, right? You know,
absolutely.
Mudkip was the unknown on that team, you know, the new addition, and he showed out. Blast, like I said, X Factor. But both of them caught a lot of really good timings that map, and it was actually, I mean, there's a lot of intelligent Valorant going on there.
Yeah, very intelligent. I mean, I think the best showcase of Blast's game sense was shoot my bot, and I don't peek for a hot minute, and then just lets that timing get in there. It's just so clean. And looking at our stat line, obviously MVP can go to blank when it came to trying Erenite to get this game back in their control. You know, in that middle stage of it, Erenite was really scaring Funhavers there.
Yeah, no, they definitely get them a run for their money, and I'm glad to see we had a double-digit versus double-digit game for the first round of 16, right? Usually round of 16, when it's like a top versus a lower seed, is supposed to be a little bit more of a quicker-paced game, usually lower scoreline, higher differential. And I do think that, again, we talked about it. This is a rematch as well. Like, Erenite won the last time 2-0, close game. Funhavers wants redemption.
Yeah, and Funhavers kind of needs it. I mean, you have your boss watching over you after you got grouped, so you're going to have to really put it in, because I know Tim, getting into this, he wants to see these players show up and show out, so he doesn't want no 2-1 scoreline. He wants a 2-0.
Yeah, I think a 2-0 is very possible here. I mean, we're seeing, and I think the KO pick on Icebox, you know, that's hard to play around. I mean, one knife stops the entire Sage hit on attack, so I think it's very possible 2-0. I mean, maps are in their favor.
Yeah, absolutely. That was Erenite's map pick.
Yep.
The composition they walked into that, very iffy for me, but you know, they did showcase what they were brewing overnight and what they wanted to do. I know that they were struggling against Waylays yesterday, and now going into this next map, it's going to be really tough.
Oh yeah, I'm hoping that the return to normalcy of a map like Haven for them, like when you're probably going to have Flashback on the Jet, when you're probably going to have a standard go-to, it's going to look a lot stronger. Versus this is like, I think they took a gamble more so, hoping Funhavers wasn't prepared for Icebox, and then played comfort roles minus the Flash Sage. That was just interesting. Maybe didn't feel like they wanted to play the Jet, didn't want to op. But what do you think?
I mean, yeah. I mean, with maps that come back into the map pool like this right before a tournament and a new agent in the mix, I mean, you're always going to have like some level of uncertainty and like uncomfortability, but it seems like Funhavers knew that their best map was leaving the map pool, and so they needed to pick up more maps. And so I can only assume that they've been grinding the Icebox and the Ascent a little bit, because I mean, their win rate on Bind is it's insane. I think it's got to be like 90%.
I mean, Bind, I think, is a solid map for a lot of these teams, but now that it's out of the map pool, and it's not going to be easy to turn this around, because Bind's playstyle not exactly mirrorable in every other map that we have here. So with that being said, though, I do want to know a little bit more about Erenite. I want to spend some time with them, and I want to send us to a short break where we are going to find out some more time with Erenite in a quick interview. Here I am joined with the Erenite player, Raccoon. Raccoon, we've been talking a lot recently, and I got to wonder, you know, your team now here at Vegas, it's looking pretty clean. And this roster for Erenite, we really have Flash plus Van Lin Black, plus you and a bunch of other players. So how are you feeling being on this team? You've been on a lot of puggy teams, but does this feel like a new home for you?
I mean, this feels like an environment where everyone wants to give it their, full on. This is like our last push. We want to give it our all. I think everybody's coming in with their A game. We've had some scheduling mishaps because I mean we all live our lives, but everyone shows up every day and does their absolute best to leave it all on the table. And I can't respect anything more than that.
Yeah, and being on stage here, you guys are definitely feeling the lights, feeling the heat, feeling the pressure coming on, as well as, looking good while doing it. You talk about showing up. You got to show up and look good while you're there. Confidence is a big role in how you guys are going to be playing it. Looking at your team, though, when you're looking at the stats you guys are pulling through, I'd say that you guys are looking like the underdogs here in this tournament that have made it further into this little bracket here. Now we're in day 2. Is there any team that you're still looming over, a little worried about?
One team that we just never had a chance to fully play was Landor. We've always wanted to really give them a good matchup. They've been on an incredible run. Hats off to them. Matchups like those are great. We played YDZ Berserkers yesterday, and excuse me, they ran an insane Waylay comp, and it was just like, even though we lost them, such a fun game to play. And that's what I think is just the best part about these environments, is you get to learn from everybody when you show up.
Yeah, and how fast is the turnaround in that learning process? Because, Waylay in this tournament here, you're going to be looking at, as we see YDZ Berserkers pulling it out. Is there any counterplay that you guys are already cooking up last night? What kept you up last night thinking about, okay, how do we make sure that we don't have to deal with that again?
We definitely understood that we went into that matchup a little lackluster on the knowledge. I definitely would say that we weren't staying up. Excuse me. We weren't staying up all night thinking about it, because we always want to look forward when we play. Definitely keeping confidence at an all-time high. But we definitely talked it out. We not going to leak any strats, but we discussed how we can play around it a little bit better and how maybe it caught us off guard. And we realized, maybe a bit of the nerves caught in, and sometimes you got to just, sit back, have fun, and love each other.
Absolutely. Play the game. And when it comes down to loving your team and the new environment that you're finding yourself in, is there any player on the Erenite roster that kind of is that super glue that holds your team together when times get tough, or is there anybody that you just know, he's got my back?
Absolutely. I got to throw Blank Ames out there. Phenomenal player. we all kind of, when we're down and when we need a little punching bag, he's there for us. We kind of make fun of him a little bit. He's a silly guy. He brings the vibes up, and a player who's able to like give everyone that ability to just like go back to being human and being friends, always gives you a good mental reset. And I got to give it to Blank.
Yeah, and you talked about earlier, it's like you guys are here in Vegas to kind of prove yourselves with a lot of teams. Erenite, their roster online. I gotta wonder, what's future for Erenite look like? I mean, you said that it's like this is kind of a Hail Mary. Like, are we thinking about sticking with this team? Are we thinking about keeping it going depending on what happens here?
For sure. I mean, our team, we definitely want to ride out as long as the future has for us. But I mean, the ultimate nature of Tier 3 and Tier 2 is most people want to team hop, and we've established that we don't want to do that. We want to be a team that sticks together. We want to try our absolute best to perform and look our best. Shout out to a team like Prosperity. They've been a core that's been together for, I think, over a year, and they recently just made challengers through Premier, and they're looking really great. And teams like that are what everyone should aspire to be.
Absolutely. And with that being said, I want to see your team aspire to be the best today. We got a pretty solid game, so I'll see you on stage.
Thank you, brother. Appreciate you.
All right, and welcome back, everybody. What a wonderful interview. I think the interviewer did a great job, honestly. But as we are getting into our next map here, Zobi, how are we feeling about that map?
Ooh, Icebox. We kind of laid out what worked for each team. We kind of laid out what we're hoping to see in terms of the composition changes so that Erenite can get right into the right page of a winning book. And I'm just hoping that they can do that.
All right, so next map here, Zeke. How are we feeling about that?
So next map's Haven, if I'm correct.
Yeah, Haven.
Okay, so I feel like Haven's one of those maps where the IGL really shines.
Yeah.
And I think I love Hernando. Don't get me wrong, but corrupts my OG. That's my guy. So, I think he's a fantastic IGL, and I think with the way Mudkip's playing, he's just gonna get enabled the whole game, and Blast just gets to do Senti things. Right?
I want to see.
So I think it's just going to be, it's a good map for Funhavers to keep carrying the momentum. It's not like a very duel-based map, really. I mean, it's a good mix.
And for the mental, right? You've already lost your map pick. If Funhavers is starting on defense, which we'll confirm, and you get the operator online after a strong start, that is one thing Erenite did good, guys. They won both pistols, right?
No.
Yeah.
They did.
Yeah, they did.
And so I think that will deny that possibility of, okay, an early online operator, because if you feel like you're running into a brick wall.
Yeah.
And I will say Mudkip, right? They weren't always on the right side at the right time for Icebox with the operator. Like, you hope the RNG aligns, right? So you get those opportunities to find opening kills. But when they rotated, their op ability was crazy.
That man's munching.
He's catching a quick bite on the stage.
That guy got a burger delivered straight here.
It's that easy. It looked like a muffin, I thought.
It looked like a muffin.
It was a muffin?
Yeah.
Well, did you guys know here at the HyperX Arena, we actually have one of the best kitchens in Vegas for prices.
Pizza rolls.
They have pizza rolls, they got egg rolls, they got burgers, they got
Pretty sure I
chicken
got ramen
tenders.
here one time.
They have ramen sometimes. They have a drink if you are above the age of 21 called the Chug Jug.
It's true.
Yeah,
they have the Mega Man.
Most of the names, though, are like video game coded, which is so cool.
I had the Mega Man one last year, whichever one. I don't know if
I
it's still have
loved
it.
that one.
Yeah, that was good.
That was a good one.
It's blue.
And that's honestly, the drinks here are why I don't remember much about Spike Drop 3.
Oh, good point. Yeah, I mean, it's a good time in here. I can't lie. Like the atmosphere is good.
Like, your team just wanted to come hang out in Vegas, right? Crash Out Academy, and then we're like, why don't we play?
Yeah, I mean, I got lucky, and Blue Otter sent me here with the boys. So, I got blessed. But then also all my friends are here. I get to meet all the people I haven't met yet,
And honestly, I love our staff badges. Being able to write our names and like being able to yo, Edu, sign this. It's awesome. And then I need to fill out mine, but it's only for players.
Oh.
Oh.
So I'm just going to have people sign me with Sharpie and see how long it lasts.
See how long it lasts? Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like nobody in Vegas would question it.
Hey,
Oh,
okay.
the vibes are okay on the Erenite side. That's what we're seeing.
Raccoon's the man of the people.
I mean, he's the man of the people with that
Bro's
judge
like
gameplay.
dapperly dressed every day too, bro. Had the dress shoes, the polo on yesterday. What is the hat called that he was wearing? You remember? What is it? It wasn't a beanie. Yesterday it wasn't a beanie.
Oh, he's wearing like
It's like a golfer's cap, right? Is that what it's called?
I don't know. I thought
you're talking about like the little trilby, or
What did you call it?
like a flat hat, a flat cap.
It was like it comes to a point and then it's like flat.
Oh, it's
like a golfer's flat trap.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. It was a golfer's flat cap. Yeah. He was wearing that. It looked really good, guys. Like, go.
Yeah, just
give them some
Google
hype.
what we're trying to say, because you guys have access to the internet, home at Twitch, and this iPad doesn't work.
Just props now. All right, though. So Icebox Haven. imagine a world where we go to Fracture. Haven, we talked about Icebox. It obviously withheld this test of time to get new agents. Haven, I could see a Waylay. I feel like Ascent's the Waylay map right now, in my mind.
I'd say Pearl.
You think Pearl? Really?
I can see Ascent or Pearl.
Yeah.
I think it really just depends on the kind of duelist player you have. Because like, I feel like now that duelist roles getting so expanded, there's like Jet Race players, which used to be like just a thing. And now it's like, oh, you gotta have a Yoru player, you gotta have a Neon player
Sometimes
too.
ISO.
ISO, good
really
point.
big right
Or like a flex player that can play ISO. So like, the duelist role is evolving kind of crazy, and I feel like there's not really a lot of room past Yoru. I feel like Yoru's like the guy right now.
Yeah, we're never gonna see Phoenix get
no,
never.
no. Like Yoru's just
Reyna,
Icebox, that's Icebox. There's some like Jet Reyna still, like I said, the old comp's creeping up. But in this ideal world where we make it to Fracture, that's a map that's like embracing the new meta, I feel like the most, right? Gone are the days of the EG World Champions Fracture. It's like the Vice, the Taeho in particular. I'm like a Killjoy main, and I was like, oh my god, they nerfed the Taeho damage to the util, and I was like, thank you. I can actually play this agent on Fracture still. My team's not going to force me onto a Cypher or a Vice. We're good to go.
Still good there. I mean,
KJ's still okay, but I feel like
you convinced my team of that, bro.
But Vise on that map
is just so much better.
It's insane. Like the Razor Vines, you can just
Razor Vines cover all of drop, all of sand.
Well, imagine like you're hitting a site and you're playing Heaven and you're like, okay, I got this. Like I'm just gonna get this guy. I'm gonna look towards Arcade. Hold this down. And you get Razor Vine hold the front, and now I'm just trapped here, and then Brimstone all tail rockets.
Yeah, Jet was so important on that map for a long time too. Vines just says, "Oh, you're a Jet, no dash."
Yeah,
Gone.
no doubt. Well, and then Raze,
no movement characters. So that's why I think honestly, Vise being in the game is why Yoru is just so good because he doesn't have to worry about
and Taeho because you could dodge all the Taeho util. You could play around it really easy.
And I don't know what's called a nerf, the buff to stuns. Remember how the stuns wouldn't affect how far you dash on Jet, and now they do.
Yeah, now they do.
So again, like any of those agents are definitely propelled a lot further.
That's a good change, I think.
Absolutely. And we've been asking each other a lot of questions. I want to see what some of these players have answers for because we asked a whole lot of questions this weekend. Let's send it to our rapid fires. New agent Waylay.
Very underpowered.
So let's talk about like what rapid fires are. Basically, we asked a bunch of players their game preferences, some of their routines, their rituals. We wanted to learn about the players outside of the game. And Zeke, you actually answered some of them.
I did. I was there for that.
Do you want to leak what question you were asked? Don't say the answer because it's in there.
Do I remember what I was asked? Oh, my favorite teammate, wasn't it?
Well, who's your least favorite teammate then? If we asked you your favorite.
Listen, I love Ethan. This guy kept standing up on stage, and I just
it's a curse, isn't it? We've seen that now in
It's
VCT.
embarrassing. Like he wasn't even like saying anything. He would just like get done with the game, and he would just stand up and stand there and like look around. I'm like,
it wasn't like intimidating. Like, what are you doing?
No,
Stand
it was just
up.
embarrassing. I was like, sit down, dude. Like we got next match to play. Like
he was like prairie dogging it, where he just like pops up over the tall grass.
It's the land environment. You gotta enjoy it, you know.
Yeah, he's gotta look at all the audience
map
members.
one. Like get focused.
And speaking of audience members, I do gotta shout out some of the Funhavers supporters. They made like the coolest signs for this event. Like they got some ombre like on Blast's name. Yes. Someone drew Gojo like in full shaded
right
detail.
Down there. Oh, we can't see him though. It's all those signs on the bar.
Bro, we gotta go tell them to like put them up to the camera in front of the stage or something later because they are clean and deserve all the love.
Signs after the game.
Yeah, the signs are so nice, and the art on them. Crazy good talent. Just the amount of talent in this venue. I remember last time we had the Funhaver Dallas LAN. A question was asked, how many followers on Twitter are in this building right now? Like we had Fluorescent was there, so we had just all of these huge.
Stellar was there.
Yeah, all these massive social media people are on, and now on stage we have Raccoon. So we got all these people that are just like talent first and gamer second. It seems like that's really the evolution of esports. Is I played video games for pretty well. Now I'm on Twitch, like Tens, who's retired.
Yeah. Well, I forget Raccoon's like a pretty big content creator now.
Yeah.
I average like 100 viewers plus every stream. And I'm like,
that's a
crazy.
partnered streamer moment.
Yeah,
that's crazy. I forget because I knew him in the rank queues forever ago. I mean, I played Premier with him a couple times. Like I know him as like just like a player. I never think about like his streams.
You know, I was interested in him as a content creator back during the Van Lin days when he was playing with one of their secondary rosters. So it's amazing to see him now level up to a primary roster that made a deep run in the open qualifier.
Well, yeah, I was playing with CFAX.
Yeah.
Tim's teammate for this LAN. So.
Yeah, CFAX, he played so... He did.
He played good?
Sometimes.
I didn't watch.
Okay.
I wanted to.
It's the funniest thing that happened yesterday. CFAX tried taking a selfie with the enemy Omen. He was playing Cypher.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, it was so funny.
That's good.
Well, okay, guys, I gotta let you in on something. Every caster's worst nightmare has just occurred. We are stuck on our faces for who knows how long.
No, that's.
Oh, our switcher's not working.
Exactly. That was the fancy way to say that. So.
That's.
Hi.
You know, I kind of figured I was like, I'm gonna go on stream.
And you're gonna break everything. How could you?
Something's gonna go wrong. Something always goes wrong.
All right.
I'm just an unlucky fella.
No, you captivate the camera. It
I
locks
do.
onto you and says nowhere else. All right, and nowhere else but the HyperX Arena here. Also, one thing we have not mentioned today is some of our sponsors. While we have you, don't click away because that's rude. Let's listen to my Ace-Zone headsets. We have them on stage. You might have noticed them. Even when Tim, Mr. Funhaver, or any of these players are screaming at the top of their lungs, they can't hear anything because they have some white noise playing. They got, honestly, the feeling of an Ace-Zone headset. It's like I'm an astronaut and I got a helmet on. It is just so, like, it hugs me.
And you also saw on stage, like, the Funhaver jerseys, right, that Funhavers is repping. Well, I mean, if you want drip like them, they have, like, joggers. They have, like, sneakers. I want a beanie if you're in here, Tim. I want a beanie personally.
I think that's happening.
Yeah, it is. It's in the works.
I got some pants. No,
there you go.
Honestly,
he does
real talk.
owe me some free merch. I need to follow up on that. You bring up a good point.
If you were in the venue yesterday, Soupberry's core went on Twitter and said, if you find me, free merch. So if you are in the venue, find the free merch. Hunt down the manager for core. That's what you got to do.
All right.
Good to know. I didn't know that. See, I'm learning.
Yeah.
I'm learning stuff.
Yeah, you would know if you're active on Twitter and following all the players. The amount of networking that happens at these, it's like, oh, what's your Twitter?
Yeah, no, I have.
It's crazy.
I remember the Dallas LAN. I think I gained at least like 300 followers from that LAN.
Yeah, even though there's only like 100 people that showed up.
Yeah, pretty much.
Oh, that's crazy.
Well, in the meantime, I do know, and I was like trying to reflect on this. At least some of the last time we checked the standings for the other games that were happening, right? We talked about at the beginning, like games we're looking forward to in the playoffs. I mean, Burger Boys, Why Does Infinity? I think Burger Boys was probably leading. But what surprised me, I think it was at one point, what was it?
F5 versus
F5
YDZ,
Esports
YDZ
versus YDZ Berserkers. It was like 8-1 favoring F5, which is insane to think about. And you were the one gassing up Jason, weren't you?
Listen, I had to say it. I lost to them in groups. Jason owned me.
Okay.
And Jason's a good friend of mine. Like I've known him for years. I used to be his manager, And so I saw it firsthand, and I knew. I was like, there could be a potential upset there. And that's a big upset because a lot of those players are pretty unexperienced. Jason's definitely the most experienced player on that team. He qualified for challenges with Lemonade Stand. And so, yeah, I mean, I saw that it could happen, but I didn't think it was going to be like that.
Yeah. And now that we know F5 really just came in pretty dang well here, the biggest upset here, YDZ Berserkers is like the hypest of teams that we wanted to follow along here.
It's not a car, bro.
Yeah, it's not a car.
Everyone does
I mean, I got every single qualifier. I was here on the mic. Well, not here, but I was here at Funhaver GG on Twitch, and every single time we had insane amount of participation. We had YDZ X Berserkers. We had YXBX Carmi. We had Note continue to play even though he qualified twice. Like, they just love playing here.
Pigeons qualified twice too, didn't they?
Yeah. Pigeons qualified twice and didn't even have a plan to be at LAN. It's a crazy, crazy comm from them. But if you're watching at home, Pigeons, thank you guys.
Yeah, thank you, Pigeons, because Blue Otter is now here invited because you didn't go. So thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you for letting me meet Queen Bobsa.
Thanks, Beanin, and Coburg, and friends.
Oh, it's that day. But honestly, now that we have so many things, so many of these teams are also not only traveling to Vegas this week. Northwood was here, and Northwood, they have another LAN happening in Canada that they got going on here. I think they have SEC that they're going to go do next week. Yeah. So you have a lot of people traveling. And I got to ask, Zeke, as a player who we go to a few LANs. As a caster, I feel it.
Yeah.
How does the travel weigh on the gameplay? Do you think it gets people better? Because I would say I've seen the best plays in and online.
So I think there's like obviously there's some comfort to being in your home setup.
Yeah.
But I think the worst part is for example, me, I'm CST time zone, you know that.
Yeah.
So I only lost like, what, 2 hours? But there's like Zostool, Shondex on Blue Otter, I mean, they're EST. So when they fly over, they lose 3 hours. So it really depends on how your lifestyle is. Because like if you're looking to have fun at LAN and you're jet lagged, you're going to have a bad day.
Not even just have fun at LAN, but have fun in Vegas, right? We were talking about it the other day, right? The T-ball, the windows so tinted at you. You were like, you don't know what time it is. It's full Percy Jackson moment. You're trapped in the moment.
It's tactical, psychological warfare that casinos do. We love casinos.
I don't want to talk about casino parking.
Oh, the parking.
They rob my pockets every day.
You do valet?
I did valet today because I learned my lesson yesterday. I did self-parking for the short, well, I didn't say short-term parking, of course. But I did parking for a hotel that won't be named.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
And, yeah, I got done 6 hours later. I put my ticket in, $25.
That's not a bad deal in Vegas.
That's actually not
really?
bad at all.
That's a good. You're used to Midwestern economies here.
Like maybe $20 is like the normal for like plus 4 hours.
No,
like,
where we're from, because me and him come from the same city. There's no such thing as paid parking.
Well, okay, there's it from
like
in Atlanta, there's paid parking.
The thing comes up, I just coast in
just
and
park
I pick
where
my
you
spot.
want. Yeah.
You don't even need it's that.
There's
that
like
Midwestern
2 of them, like by the Wells Fargo Arena. You know, there's.
The funny thing, I used to be able to park there for free because I work for Wells Fargo.
Oh well, yep. There you go.
Yeah, problem solved.
As you're kind of caster that's done like everything. They've been a teacher now. They've been a banker apparently. What else?
I wasn't a banker. I was.
You worked at Wells Fargo. My bad.
I worked for Wells Fargo for their auditing system for like getting all their data. So
you're allowed to say this? Are you under NDA?
I can say what I've done. I'm not going to be like, all right, guys, so the social security number of this client. No, obviously I'm not going to. That's what I don't
Hey, when I
do.
did software engineering, I wasn't allowed to say stuff about my project in detail.
Oh.
Really?
Yeah.
I've never signed an NDA before, so.
I've signed so many. I've broken so many NDAs.
Yeah, I don't think I could.
Come for me.
I'm not a secret.
I don't have a lawyer. You're probably going to win. But no, it's like everybody who works in esports comes from something different. You know, I was talking to a lot of casters and even players. It's like, okay, what do you do? Well, any player that isn't in school is cybersecurity, is what I found out. Yeah. They're all cybersecurity.
We actually asked the team about this. I think it was Utica, and rip Utica. I was hoping they would make it through as well. I think very narrowly they didn't.
I mean, they're one of the jet lag teams. They're
they're from New York. But they were saying that while balancing school as both students and esports athletes, they're all the same majors. They can collaborate, like minus one player. They all do cybersecurity.
All do cyber.
Yeah, I feel like computer science is just the overwhelming majority.
Yeah, because you play gaming growing up, and you just like the tech.
It's like you know how it works.
You could do that at your computer in your room. You don't really have to like.
You can alt tab, play Valorant, alt tab back, and all of a sudden you're out of your office. You know.
What would you have done, Zeke, if you didn't do esports?
Oh, I did do college.
Yeah, I know, but what was it for? Like, what would your job have been if you weren't in esports?
Okay, so I did music before COVID.
Okay.
I was an opera singer. So I did.
We're about to make you sing, by the way.
We're
now.
not that kind of podcast. This ain't that kind of show.
I know the switch is broken, but like, it's not.
If we run out of topics,
the switch might be broken. The mute button probably isn't. So we're good there. But
no, I did that, and then I did pre-law, graduated, and then now I'm a store manager to Starbucks. So.
Hey, yo, I did that too.
Oh, really?
Yeah, let's go.
No, good talk. I also just remembered. We don't have delay. I'm going to pull up the stream. If you guys are watching, most people who watch Funhaver events are Tier 2 competitors that either aren't here or are in the venue that are just pulling up to talk, right? So what I'm going to ask is if you are currently in the chat with our no delay, I want to know, what do you guys do outside of esports as a profession or as a hobby that takes up most of your time? Because that's really what casting is.
And while we do that, I know for me, I'd probably be like another software engineer or like a robotics engineer because that's what I did in high school. So yeah. But I feel like Starbucks is like weirdly like good for casters and for like esports players because you can work in the morning, go home, and just get online and game and stream. Exactly.
I get scrim at 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock.
Exactly. It was like perfect when I wasn't in school.
I will say I did try to do the computer science route, and that I was miserable. That takes a special kind of person.
Ooh, okay, so I got some for us. So we got Bonbon, gymnastics coach, and graduating with an associates in graphic design. So gymnastics coach, is that like a paid, like, Like you actually work in a gymnastics studio?
I was thinking like elementary school, you know, how like you would go into the gym and
I
like
think
they put out the tumble mats and you're like, do a somersault.
Yeah.
It's probably like a private studio type deal, I feel like.
Then we got No Way Mask photography. That's actually a really tough job to have consistent, especially after COVID. Like, are you a traveling photographer or are you one of those like, I work in a studio and I take headshots?
I know a lot of esports photographers. Shout out Cora. But I was actually, last time I was here for 003. For Spike Drop, I was here as a photographer for a team. So you normally work with the teams, the winning team. That is true.
Oh my God!
Who then immediately
you forgot that they won?
And then immediately disappeared.
It's basically Ambrosia now. You know?
Yeah, and another.
Well, kind of, but they got rid of half of them.
Minus.
All of them but 2.
No.
And then we
Adrian and
Satellite was there too, wasn't he?
That's it.
Calypso was on that team, right?
Calypso's gone.
Yeah, Calypso. Okay, what
Rupa's
was that?
gone.
What was that roster? It was Calypso.
Calypso, Rupa gone.
Rupa, yeah.
Who's? Smiley was there.
Smiley was there. Isn't Smiley
still
there? Yeah.
Okay, so
the core is the same. The core is the same. That's all that matters. And then Screwface was already in talks at the time. You know, like joining, leaving, and then I think he went to Winthrop for challengers instead.
He did. I saw Jerry B. Donut in the chat. Shout out Jerry B. Donut.
Yeah,
working out.
I got the chat for us.
Coaching.
All right, let's go back to chat.
Yeah, so we have the actual Shakira. The singer is also an accountant apparently, and then we have Blue Otter League. I work in finance. Works at finance. We have a lot of accountants, a lot of finance, a lot of numbers.
Otters.
Yeah, Blue Otter. Yeah.
Blue Otter League. Let's go. That's Bully. Shout out Bully.
Shout out Bully here.
That's our guy.
Yeah, and then No Way Mask is also someone who does it as a hobby that shoots local DJs. Currently at a school working photography event, and then, of course I do have Cherry Blossom here. Works in a pharmacy. So.
That's a good one.
Yeah, you get up pretty early.
And you're pretty rich if you do that. They make good money.
I was like, when I went to like a college fair, basically what they did was like they had like the pharmacology school like there. They had a booth. They had like a bunch of M&Ms, and they were like you know, like the pill counter thing. They were like letting you test it out and be like, would you be a good like pharmacist? And I was like, this is so fun. Maybe I should do this instead all day just counting.
Yeah, 8 hours a day, 5 days a week.
Yep. I mean, if you get paid that much for it, yeah, why not?
Maybe.
Yeah. Also, Zeke, your personal assistant says hi.
Who's my personal assistant?
You have a personal assistant?
Richie Tran.
I want a personal assistant.
Oh my God, Richie. I love Richie. See, here's the thing. I just know that if I had my boy Kyle and my boy Richie, these groups would have went different.
All right. Well, thank you guys for interacting with us here at the Twitch chat. What we are going to be doing is we are going to figure out some of these tech issues going on. Thank you so much for watching. We will be back here soon, but we are going to cut the stream and keep notifications on at funhaver.gg. I want to see you guys back here. Remember, we are live, so I want to be having more interactions if we ever have more tech issues. So keep your eye on our Twitter. Make sure to check out our socials and check us out if you are local to Vegas or want to take the drive tomorrow for our grand finals. We will be seeing you guys soon with hopefully our map 2.